Hey everybody, what I've got here is the basic first responder trauma kit made by Scherber Emergency Response Gear, and we're going to check it out right now on Kit Bashed Survival. Alright, so yeah, most of the time I'm checking out survival gear on this channel, but every now and then I like to check out some first aid gear or some trauma gear, as this is. So this is a small trauma bag. The model number is SCHTB200Y. The color is fluorescent yellow. They also offer it in red and black and a couple other colors. And it runs about $140. That's the full price. And we got this because my fiance, at the end of last year, she had some flexible spending money to burn. And of course, medical stuff can be used for flex spending, and so we ended up getting this. And I really wanted to get it just to check it out and see everything that's in here. You know, I think a lot of times when it comes to survival gear, people think of knives and, you know, fire making equipment and shelter and stuff like that, food, water, all that kind of stuff. And first aid kind of gets put on the back burner sometimes, and it's good to have a nice full trauma bag, something like this, in your house. Now obviously this isn't going to fit in a backpack or in some sort of a bug out bag, but it's good to have in the house. And I like to have stuff like this just in case something goes down. I've got lots of first aid and medical gear in my house, and this is the newest edition. So it says it has over 200 pieces, and I've taken a peek and it looks like it has some pretty comprehensive gear. So we've got two side compartments, a front compartment, and a top compartment, which is the main compartment. I guess we'll start off with this side compartment. Let's see what's in here. Now a lot of the stuff is meant to be taken out and put into little holders that are in the main compartment, but when you first get it, it's bagged up like this. So here we've got some cutting stuff. We've got a large shears. We've got a small shears. We've got a forceps, or what do you call that? A hemostat or forceps with the little alligator thing. And we've got a set of plastic tweezers. And then we've got a basic guide for first aid. And by the way, this is meant to be more of a first responder kit, as its name implies. It's not meant to be like a, you know, everyday first aid kit kind of thing with just band-aids and so forth. It's meant to have a little bit more inside. Alright, so here in the front compartment, got these Dynarex Combine pads, okay? 8x10. So it's just a big old pad. I guess you could use it to control bleeding or as a dressing or something like that. Not bad. We've got two oval iPads. Not that kind of iPad. We've got two pairs of nitrile gloves. Very nice. And oh, here we've got a whole bunch of little wipey things. Let's see what we got. Okay, we've got 10 sting and bite pads. And they got a reorder number on all this stuff too, which is nice. Then we've got 10 of these povidone iodine prep pads. And finally, I'm willing to bet we have 10 of these sterile alcohol prep pads. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep. And that is everything in this front pouch. Alright, now we've got this side pouch over here. I really like this bag, by the way. It's got the reflective tags on it. It seems to be very good quality. There are hooks here for a strap that I believe is in the top pouch. We'll see that in a minute. You've got a little card thing over there. I mean, it's very good quality. This is not a flimsy bag in any way. Alright, so triple antibiotic ointment. Looks like we got a big tube of it. Yep, there it is. Triple antibiotic ointment. I like how everything has a reorder number so that when you use it, you can reorder more if you need to. Alright, then we've got this pad here. Now, what is this? I think this is a splint. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me, but I think this is a sort of a flexible splint, if I had to guess. Kind of cool. Then we've got True Plus Glucose Gel. Good to have. Fruit punch flavored. 15 grams. Fast-acting carbohydrates, raises low blood sugar, and boosts energy. Good to have around in case you're dealing with a diabetic. We've got, oh, what is this? It's funny, some of the stuff I'm having to sort of figure out, which is good. You know, if it's a first aid kit where I'm having to figure out what some stuff is, that's encouraging. That means they're putting stuff that is not your ordinary first aid stuff in there. So what is this? Okay, so batteries go there. Okay, this is a laser pointer, I think. Let me see. No, it's a flashlight. Okay. And then they've got, oh, I know what this is. Hang on a second. All right, sorry, I knocked the camera there. Had to come back. We've got some batteries for the flashlight. I'm going to leave those in the pack and put my own in there. So let's open this up again. Two AAA batteries. It's made of metal, which is nice. All right, so we got our little medical pen light here. I grew up with these. My dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse, and so these were all over the house because my dad got endless supplies of these from pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that that would give them out as freebies. And they're not terribly bright, but they're perfect for quick medical examinations, in particular, looking in the ear, nose, throat, and eyes. And so these dots here, I think those are to help you judge how dilated someone's pupils are. That's what I think those are in millimeters. If I'm wrong, someone please say so, but that's my hunch. And then we've also got a little ruler on the back in centimeters and millimeters. So pretty handy, you know, just for looking down someone's throat, in their ears, and their nose, and their eyes. You know, if someone's having a stroke or something like that, or, you know, a lot of times you can tell by the dilation of their pupils what's going on, and that's what this little chart and this little light would come in handy for. So very nice. Seems to be pretty well built. It's got a little clip to go in your pocket. I mean, it's the definition of a medical pen light right there. Not bad. And then the last thing in this pocket, we've got some Easy Care First Aid Purified Water Eye Solution Eye Wash. So, eye wash. Not bad. All right, and last but not least, we've got the main compartment. So up here, I don't know if you can see that too well, but we've got a bunch of little holders for stuff like the pen light, the shears, things like that. And then we've got our main compartment. So here is the carrying strap that attaches to these hooks, like so. And then we've got a bunch of stuff in here, so we'll just start at the beginning. So here, Berman Airways. Let's see what this is. So this is all airway stuff, pretty fancy first aid stuff. Okay, so these are airway inserts to help open up the airway, and they've got different sizes for different size people. So let's see here. So 40 millimeter infant, 60 millimeter child, small child, medium adult, large adult, and extra large adult. I'm an extra large, I would imagine. So, oh, look at the little one for an infant. It's teeny tiny. That's cute. Could use it on my cat. So now I'm going to have to research this because I want to know how to use these properly. But basically, this is to open up the airway, so it pushes the tongue down and creates a passageway so they can breathe. And it says right here, it's a curved piece of plastic inserted over the tongue that creates an air passageway between the mouth and the posterior pharyngeal wall. Contraindications when not to use it, and directions for use. This is definitely something I'm going to have to Google. So you put it in the mouth with this toward the top of the mouth, the palate, and then when you get to the back, you rotate it, and that helps open up the throat, I'm guessing. I'm not an expert, and I wouldn't want to use one of these things without at least watching a couple of videos on how to do it. And it'd be really nice if I had some sort of a dummy to practice on, but it's nice to have. Like I said, this is not an amateur first aid kit. This is a little bit, you know, on the professional side. All right, we got Ever Ready First Aid, all-in-one CPR respirator mask. Wow. Okay. CPR respirator mask. I'm not going to take that out, but that's pretty cool. And again, you know, this is something that you need training on. So, you know, I like having stuff like this in my house, but it's also something that means I should probably go take a first aid course somewhere and learn how to use this stuff properly. Because as is the case with a lot of medical gear, including tourniquets, people, if you don't know how to use it, you can actually do a lot more harm than good. My dad's a doctor, and I've asked him about the possibility of maybe coming on this channel and talking about first aid kits and what should and shouldn't be in your general first aid kit, and also talk about the use of tourniquets. Because most people who watch this channel, they just think tourniquets are the end-all be-all, and they can be, but you have to know how to use them. All right, so we've got 2 of these instant cold packs. Nice. Zero burn sterile burn dressing. We got 2 of these. Kind of wet. It's cool. 4x4. All right. Sprague Rappaport stethoscope. Amplifies heart and lung sounds. Complete kit includes 3 sets of ear tips, large and small diaphragm, diaphragm removal tool, adult, pediatric, and infant bells, and dual tubing that transmits faint sounds. Now, we all know what a stethoscope is, but they got a bunch of extra gear in this. That's kind of cool. This is, you know, I mean, this feels pretty well made. I mean, this is not, yeah, it flips around as it should. Yeah, this is not a flimsy stethoscope by any means. This is like a operation toy or something. Okay, there's the tool for removing the diaphragm, I think. You know, this is one more thing. I'm going to have to take this down to my dad next time I see him and say, what do you use all these extra pieces for? Okay, so I did find out what all this stuff is for. This is a tool to replace damaged diaphragms, and you've got 2 spare diaphragms, a large one and a small one. Then you've got some alternative earpieces, and then you've got some alternative diaphragms you can put on for different types of listening. Although I talked to my dad and he was like, I don't know what that stuff is. I mean, I think most doctors just use the stethoscope as is, and they don't worry about any fancy attachments and stuff like that. All right, now we've got a sphygmomanometer, a blood pressure cuff, if you will, with zipper case. Now, this is probably an old-fashioned one. Most people these days use the digital ones, but this is probably an old-fashioned manual one, I would imagine. Yeah, okay, so there's our pressure gauge. There's the little pumper thing. I do know how to use these, so this is something I don't have to ask my dad how to use, but yeah, looks to be good quality. Get someone's blood pressure. Very solidly built. No complaints. Okay, and then we got a whole box of surgical sponges. 4x4 8-ply gauze. Wow. There's no joke. Then we got, this is probably the most basic thing we have in this kit, a bunch of Band-Aids. 100 3/4 inch by 3 inch Band-Aids, 19mm by 76mm. There they are. Self-explanatory. And lastly, we've got all of these bandages and gauze pads and so forth. So we've got medical tape, triangular bandage, another triangular bandage. We've got rolls of gauze, 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls of gauze. Got 2 ace bandages, 2 rolls. We've got more gauze. This is comforting stretch gauze, 4 inches. And then we've got some of that athletic tape. This is that tape that you can wrap around that sticks to itself. You know, when you give blood and stuff like that, they use this stuff. Wow. So that is everything, and I gotta say, that's a lot of stuff. All right, so there it is, the Scherber Small Trauma Bag. Overall, I think it's pretty good. It's got a lot of useful stuff in there. Some of the stuff is kind of advanced. It's not the stuff you would normally need in a basic first aid kit, but it's kind of cool to have this around just in case. Now, I could add some stuff to it to make it better, like, of course, a tourniquet, which, again, I think the reason they don't include something like this in here is I think it's kind of a liability. You got to know what you're doing with these things. You don't just want to hand them out willy-nilly. Some hand sanitizer wouldn't be bad, a couple of masks, maybe some of that stuff to stop bleeding, maybe an Israeli bandage, an emergency survival blanket for hypothermia, and you could even add a little bit of water just to help someone rehydrate. But you really don't need all that stuff. I mean, it's pretty good the way it is, so yeah, I like it. Again, this is the Scherber Small Trauma Bag. Cost about $130, $140 on Amazon. We spent our flex money on it because we had to spend it before the end of the year or we would lose it. So I'm kind of glad we ventured out and tried this little trauma kit. Anyway, that's it for now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm currently working on some longer videos. I've got 3 longer videos in the works right now that I think you guys will like, so keep an eye out for those. But until then, I'm Eric Siegel. This is Kit Bashed Survival. Take care, and I'll see you next time.